What is happening? It's Friday morning, almost the end of my rest week. Let's have a look at the targets before my next race season. Alright, good morning YouTube. First of all, apologies if the last videos weren't as supportive, as positive as I would like to, but we went through a bit of a fatigue phase. Two things actually, so we came out of it now. So first of all, it's Friday of my easy week. This is the week after 3 weeks of really good training, personal PBs, great progress, and we started the week off with 2 easy days, basically full rest days, and then some load. I was really off for a few days, which you could say it's fatigue, and it is 100% one part fatigue, but another one was a bit too off, and even the last days, kind of the gut and appetite was down, which you could say is a labor going towards the edge with training, but it persisted through the week, this weird gut and appetite thing. And what fixed it now was, first I took yesterday micro gut bacteria, like just a gut bacteria thing that really reset it big time. I took it today again. They have in the pharmacy, there's like 3-4 days acute for micro gut flora, really helps a lot. And I drank 1.5 liters of good old Coca-Cola. The only reason I did that is literally, as you guys know, when you have anything with gut, it helps to kill whatever is in Coca-Cola. It does work, and that did it. Today is the first day, although I did train easy the last days. I slept 11 hours, let's not forget that, so it's always a cocktail of things. But I felt the first day waking up without the feeling of anxiety. And anxiety, there was no rational thing for that. Anxiety, first and foremost, don't get it confused with anything else before you start going towards like work and problems and all this, which I love to do in the past. Completely wrong address, was not the reason at all. Gut is a big one. So if you have anxiety, you're waking up in the morning first thing, and it's not really a thing that's attached to a thought like I have an exam coming up or anything like that. Think gut first, meaning could also be calories first. So as an athlete, that's very common to undereat, and you will feel that like kind of this thing, and the anxiety starts here, which is where your gut is. So really have a think next time when you feel anxiety in the morning or even in general, really try to go in your body, where does it originate? And oftentimes when you have to pinpoint it, it could be like on your chest, then it's maybe not gut, then it's maybe stress, like something emotional maybe. But when you really pinpoint it, then oftentimes, wait a second, the actual anxiety starts here. Well, what's there? That's your stomach. So there could be a few things going on, but very oftentimes it's as simple as low calories. And it will also not allow you to sleep. It's a very, very, very common thing. So eat enough is a big one. But me, it wasn't eating enough per se this time. It was whatever was going on. There's also a lot of weird stuff going on, like norovirus and whatever. I didn't get sick, I didn't feel sick. Only symptoms I had was this anxiety and really feeling a low mood and low motivation. Like, can also be fatigue, you're going through a lot, so it's one part, 100% that, but I didn't have it that bad last time. And like I said, it stopped completely now after getting that in. So that we now have a rational mind again and are not an emotional disaster, which we have to completely suppress, because when you're in an emotional state, number one rule is don't allow your brain to do anything that it wants to do, meaning it wants to analyze things, find things for doubt, find things for fears, find things over here that are not right. Like all this BS, do not allow it. When you're in a compromised emotional state, your mind wants to go there, it wants to boycott you, that's not helping you, you know it, but it's kind of a bit addictive, right? A bit the drama, get the drama going, you know? Whoo, let's go. So don't allow it. If you're in a compromised state, feeling very tired, anxious, whatever you got going on, you have one rule to follow. First, make no decisions about your life. Don't write any emails that are like important, even though you want to get it out of your brain, like let's do it quickly. Don't do it. Don't do it. And second, don't allow your brain to make any kind of thought processes about something that you care about. It could be a training, could be about family, anything. You're in a compromised state. You cannot, like me, cannot make good decisions. So now I'm back so we can start using our brain again. And for example, I had anxiousness also about things coming up in the future, and like about future training. I didn't hit these splits and all, just a pile of BS, obviously. So I put that away in a shelf over here. It's like, yeah, you shut up and you stay here, and let's go back to this place, address it when we're in a good state, which is this morning. So let's go into it. Here's my beautiful journal every morning. So there's a to-do list for the day, some things. Then I also give myself some credit. Day 34 of filming the video, 16 to go to 50. Again, so 50 days straight. So just things I can control and give myself some credit. Then today's goal, today is enjoy finally feeling calm and relaxed, soak it in. That's the goal for today, because I've been feeling horrible since Monday. So today I don't. So instead of loading myself with all kinds of BS, which I could do, no, we're gonna allow this feeling. I deserve it to feel good today. Then what I'm grateful for, always something. And here, let's go to the controllables. So controllables for the next block before the first race. What is in my control to have the best possible progress long term, and also to have the best possible race experience, which is the first race, it's the dustbuster. But what is in my control? So what's in my control is, let's go to the swim first. Swim sets. So the swim sets I talked about in the last video, but what is in my control, and I haven't done it yet, to swim 10 times 200 meter long course, holding 230 or under, leaving on 250. That is a great goal in my progress journey. Not as fast enough for future where I want to go, but for me right now, that is a great set. Let's nail this set, my control. Let's work hard to get that. Then swim again. I will swim, I wrote it down, I will swim 8 times 100, leaving on 120 long course, coming in 108, 110. Never did that. I can do it, otherwise my coach and me wouldn't have set the goal. He set the goal, he's doing the numbers. I can do it, I'm gonna work hard to nail it. All right, then, that's actually before Austria. So it's a bit longer term goal. So I will ride 6 times 15 minutes threshold, 350 to 360 watts before Ironman Austria, which is in June, so the next 2 months. For the coming block, that's too much. Even for the one after, questionable if I can do it, but it's in the range. So for the next block, for this block, we set the goal of 6 times 15 minutes, the first week at least. First 3 reps, 15 minutes, 330 watts. Before that, 6 times 15, 330. Now we do 3 times 15, 330, followed by the second half of the 90-minute load, 3 times 15 minutes, 350 watts. That is new stimulus. So it's not out of the norm to say the block afterwards, I do these all at 350, maybe even 360. That would be great. That's in my control. Good. So in the future, do I want them to be at 470 watts? Absolutely. How do I get there? First, do these. 330, 350, 370, 400, 420, 450. Yes. I'm a bigger guy, so I can talk those numbers. So these are not 7 watts per kilogram Tadej Pogačar numbers. These are numbers for 80 kilogram guy. So the watt per kilogram the watts are high, the speeds will be high, where I'm aiming at. But Tour de France level, no sir. Watt per kilogram, not as impressive. But the Wattzillas, and me, my strength, I can go very high, which is good for Ironman and need it. Otherwise, you shall become a pack rat if you weigh 60 kilograms and your race pace is 260 watts and everybody else's is 340, 350. So you shall be determined a pack rat, because that's the only card you can play. Here, then I will run 6 times 3K hours before Austria. I will run 6 times 3K holding 320 to 325. That is 520 mile to 525 mile pace before Ironman Austria. Good. Threshold run set down the line, not for coming block, for one after. The coming block, as I mentioned, we're gonna build from 6 times 2K, 6 times 2.5, 5, or 6 times 3K threshold run on the good old treadmill. Then, also last one for the run, I will hold 345 pace at 160 heart rate. I'm doing it on rolling terrain, the long run. But yeah, when I hold the flat, so I'd like, just for confidence, eventually I'll find some flatter loops that I can hold this 3:45 minute per K pace, 5:45 mile. Is it? Yeah, I think it is. At 160 heart rate. 160 heart rate is 7 beats below my LT1, so it is in controllable range, but I gotta put the work in so I can hold this. That is in my control. That is what I focus on. Then we go to a race. Fresh, tapered, looking good. Woo! Not overcooked. We're going in there and we're gonna race as hard, as smart as I can, especially hard, especially the 70.3, no fears, full gas, and we will not win the 70.3. That is not lack of belief, that is math. So unless your numbers say you're gonna be running a 110, most likely anywhere between 107 and 110 for the half marathon, you will not win. Unless you got a massive gap, but even then, yeah. So that's just math. But for Ironman Austria, it shall be looking differently. But let's not get ahead for our results, not in our control. Let's focus on this. Let's go. So we got a couple of things on menu today. Some organizational stuff, triathlon related. So first we're gonna pick up the suit, the two suits that have the Zoom in pocket for the GPS sensor for the Pro Series race. We're gonna pick that up now. And then we're gonna actually bring my road bike to another bike shop close by that can handle normal road bikes, but for triathlon bikes, I went to the other one because it's the kind of art to do a triathlon bike right. But to get the road bike rolling again, because that has been out of order, and it is nice to have some aerobic rides and hills on the normal bike. So step by step. So my dreams of outdoor riding unfortunately ended. As you can see, it's raining and wet, so no outdoor ride for me today, but for sure some riding later. Change of plan. It's not done the suit yet. They're a bit delayed, so I'll pick it up later. We're gonna get this road bike. I had it for a while. It does the job, gets you from A to B. It's quite nice, giant, I don't know, older. It's carbon still, disc brakes, that's all I need for a training ride. And this is gonna be still a tire. I'm gonna put this on my Rio. It's a 5000, so that's a decent one. It's still quite new, so I'm gonna put that on my triathlon bike for the training camp on the rear. And we're gonna pump the tires and then get going. With road bikes in general, I mean, it's obviously for social rides and all that way better. And in general, it's just, a tri bike it's a time trial machine, right? It's not made for like bumpy roads up and down and like, I don't know, it's good for time trialing, but like for some aerobic rides, some of them, not all of them, the conditioning in aero position is still very important, but you do that in the specific work. So if you have aerobic rides, that enjoyment factor goes up. Especially in Finland, to be honest, I would need more a gravel bike than anything else, because they have endless gravel paths for that, so it's way better. So once I get sponsorship with a bike brand, which is, to be honest, first starting in triathlon, it's kind of the main sponsor financially, which I have another plan for financial for triathlon anyways, but anyways, that's still one that is very important, because your bike, you know, there are still huge differences in frames from the triathlon side, like 10-20 watts between frames, some of them, so I'll never take some weird B sponsor bike. I have one of the best frames in the game right now, which is Canyon. There are a couple of brands, probably only ones I can think of that are like on a similar level as Scott, Trek. What else is there? I don't know. Also aesthetically is also one. I'm not gonna get some weird gears. Like I said, money is not my interest. My interest is performance, so that's the number one goal. But yeah, I would love to have a gravel bike eventually. But yeah, just to ride around, this will perfectly do. Some really nice roads here to discover, which are not optimal for a triathlon bike. So let's roll out. So we're rolling out here. So what is not broken on this bike? I mean, the gears, shifting cable broke. It's the manual ones, so not the electronic. That's one. Rear brake gone. Also the cable. So yeah, needs some fixing, unrideable. I'm also stuck in one gear, so we're gonna fixie it. But it would be nice to get this one back, because it is tricky though with constant power here. So because it's kind of the rolling terrain, also it's like really like, you know, like a tiny whiny chain ring, as you can see. So not really ideal for pushing higher power. The hills you can push up, but then you have constant up and down. So to be honest, training wise, it's not super ideal here. So I mean, of course it's kind of like outdoor riding, but constant power, they have to go to some other places basically. So there are some good roads for that, for time trialing, 100%. So that's ideal. Also good road surface, really safe, all those things. But yeah, always riding outdoors versus indoors, to be honest. I feel like you're missing some parts there. So let's grind it up this hill. So let's get to the shop first. Whoop, get down here. Alright, let's drop it at the shop. Should be a simple fix. Just road bike, as long as it drives. That's fine by me. There, bike is at the shop. So really, I don't mind it in the rain. I mean, with the triathlon bike I do mind, because it just messes up expensive bike, and that's not a good idea. But I would definitely, with a road bike, I would definitely go out. Oh, I can't wait to be out, because I clean the road here in Finland. It's kind of a thing to clean the roads, because all winter long it's, you know, full of those stones because of the ice and all that. So they put it there, but now they clean it all, so it's all really good. I'll definitely go outside. It's been since September since I rode my bike outside. Now it's mid-March. Everything indoors. 10 to 11 hours a week indoors. So my legs and engine are strong as a bull compared to before. But and I will keep most of my riding indoors anyway, simply because it's good training. So even imagine like a low LT1 ride with this 270 watts, it's not a big deal for me. To do normalized power 270 watts outside, whew, that's not so easy to do. Another one is safety. That's why hills is a really good option for pro cyclists and everybody, because you have I don't know, you're going slow and you can put high power out pretty quickly. So it's a really good option, right? Because if, Tadej Pogačar or whatever, if you have zone 2 ride, 340 watts, yeah, you can't do that everywhere. But let's get some lunch and then the day continues. Also on another side, just heading to lunch, on another side for the racing mindset and always this outcome thing. Because in the end, the main thing is the process and the drive to improve always, even when you're winning. But one thing is, in my mind, and I will not change this mindset, because if you want to be a winner, that is what it takes, and I'm not going to adjust that at all. So there is literally one winner in a triathlon, and that is spot number 1. By default, everyone else is the loser. That is just the unfortunate fact. You can start celebrating other spots and you can enjoy the journey and all that, but I'm looking to win. How can I win, right? So I'm in the journey right now, and like I said, it's a big part of it is a math game. So I have to have a process where my ego, because the ego wants to win. If it doesn't win, the ego is not happy. So that is not going to help me to be consistent and patient over time to get actually the numbers to be in a winning position. So I have to find a way, take the back seat of the ego, put it a bit away, because you need to put in the work, patience, consistency to get to the spot to be in a winning position, which right now I am not for 70.3 Ironman, probably not. So you gotta find a way to love the journey, stay patient, and the only way to do that, that's a cool thing about, I'd say, triathlon versus, I don't know, dart or whatever sports that are a bit less measured. We can measure everything, which is a brutal way, but also a very honest way. So we have our numbers, our little games within the sports, as I talked about earlier. So those I focus on, and then I go to the race and do my absolute best. Look at the numbers, did I hit those numbers that I wanted to? And then also, okay, what is objectively looking like because obviously the trend has to go up, also on objective scale. Each race is a bit different, but of course, let's say last day you're 30th or whatever. All right, you want to see a ranking that is looking better than that, obviously. So there has to be an upward trend also on objective scale. So it's a bit of everything. So that's my mind for the current position I'm in. Patience, which I do not have naturally. Very impatient. I want it now, but I want it now is not going to help me to get anywhere, because if you don't have patience with endurance sports and don't stack the weeks and find a way to love it, you will never get there. So I'm staying patient. I'm gonna enjoy a nice lunch now. See you guys later. Welcome to my post-lunch coffee. There are some updates for the day. So in short, and then we elaborate. In short, we'll take a full rest day because luckily I have a good team, because otherwise on your own you can't see it. So we looked at patterns a bit, and my wife recognized it, and then we looked at some data as well. So let's look at the facts. So normally after 2 rest days, in general, I feel like craving exercise. I feel like I can't wait to do any swim, anything. I didn't have that. So that was one. Then the loss of appetite started kind of a few days, even like at the end of the block, like the 2-3 days, you could say. I analyzed it as, okay, maybe it's, the training, it's like going towards the edge. Totally reasonable, could be. But, my wife also said that there's so many people sick right now. They had all kinds of gut thing. Also have an athlete of mine, had the norovirus, he lost 6 kilograms. A lot of stuff around, right? And each time, normally when you exercise a bit, you have an easy day. Next time you feel better. But also Thursday, yesterday, I felt like you saw what I did in a run. I had like nothing, no legs, no nothing. I could do it, but I wasn't motivated to do it. I wasn't enjoying it at all. And normally, like, I love every session, right? That's the first sign I should have seen, but on your own you can't. That's why you need a team. So those things. And then the other trend as well, if you have a look at this here, the data. Yeah, so let's look at last night alone. So one red flag is this one here. That is 58 resting heart rate for the night. That is very high for me. Very much not normal. That's one. Also done the resting heart rate. These things here, that's just not quite normal for me. 51 resting heart rate. Normally, when I rest, but easy days, it drops down really like low, like low stress, like to like 45, 43 or something. And it hasn't been, no, there's just some stuff. It's nothing clean. I don't feel, like I said, except for the gut and those things. And each time I rest, I feel better. But when I move, I don't. So, this is a very, very early days. So it's really important to now take a full rest day, because I can't allow myself to have a negative trend, for example, that trickle into the actual part where I get better, which is the next 3 weeks of training. Right now it's Friday. So plan for the day, complete rest day, which even mentally feels good, to be honest, because day again, if you're honest to yourself and feel it, and it's like, no, nothing today, no training. I'm like, oh, nice. Normally that's not me at all, right? I was like, give me more. So those kind of signs are pretty clear, but that's where you need a good team, right? So awesome. I'm gonna keep taking for sure the micro gut bacteria, because there is something in there, I assume, and the body's fighting it. And the last thing I want now is that it breaks out or anything, right? So there's just immune system, I assume. So my wife also mentioned something, maybe because she's in contact with patients, maybe, but anyways, full rest, you lose nothing, but I have a lot to lose if I now keep going and keep having a negative trend, and it starts the next block and I'm not ready, or like I'm actually getting sick or something like that. So smart choices, which are hard to do on your own, but luckily we have a good setup now. So this is gonna be it for today, I assume. We pick up the suit a bit later, and I check back in tomorrow. Not so super exciting, but this is reality, what it looks like to get closer to my goals. That is the best choice. So I'll see you guys tomorrow.